So we know you as lead author of Axios's AI Plus, truly a must read, where if you're missing it, you're missing some of the key headlines. But I've always been curious how you do it. I can imagine you sifting through thousands of headlines each week, deciding which to prioritize. So I wonder if you could give us a look behind your laptop. How do you decide which stories you want to focus on? And do your selections tell us something about where the field is headed?
I mean, I think they do. I hope they do. That's certainly the goal. I mean, basically, I see it as a huge luxury in this moment where AI is changing so much to have a daily newspaper and 4 or 5 times each week to be able to say, here's one thing you should pay attention. Here's one slice of it. Because you do have to, and we were talking about this before, you do have to sort of take one thing at a time. You know, you can't boil the ocean. But I feel like that's a huge luxury. At the same time, there's way more than I'm ever going to get to. So I try to focus on, is this thing in and of itself meaningful? Like, so is this bit of news itself newsworthy? Or is it a good way into an important question that we need to be talking more about? So sometimes I'll pick something not because this particular company has it right or this is the winning approach, but this is an issue we really need to talk about. So I did a story recently on a data initiative for Mozilla, and I don't know that this particular data initiative will take hold. I think there's a lot of good that could come if it does. But this issue that it's not just about whose model is better, but also what data they're using. And then, of course, the issues of who's represented and not, which is a theme that I try and come back to fairly frequently because these models are only as good as the data they have, and that data is often not representative. So that's an example of one where I just wanted to talk about this issue of data. Um, Sometimes it's the players involved. So certainly, you know, we spend more of our time on the players that are operating at scale because the impact is going to be greater. So we do pay more attention to what Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, Anthropic, some of the household names are doing. And then I try and also get into some of the things, you know, every now and then that are fun or interesting. And again, a lot of these societal questions. How is it changing education? How is it changing healthcare? How is it changing the way humans interact? How are we going to relate to AI? So there's so much to talk about. It's always a question of narrowing down, though. There's way more that I would love to get to than I have time and energy. Plus, I'm using AI, and we may talk about this. I use AI a lot behind the scenes just because it's the only way I can come close to keeping up. And I'm not even keeping up with AI, so I certainly wouldn't be keeping up without it.